Hey everyone, it's Tdawg here at Tdawg Trading. Thanks so much for making me part of your day. I really appreciate your support. Today was, let's call it my coming out party. I mean, I had an amazing day. This is going to be the first video of this channel. So if you like day trading, you like live trading, you like some recaps kind of talking about the small cap and the volatility market, then I think you came in the right place. So definitely appreciate your support. Honestly, today is going to be probably more recap than it is going to be live trading. I was in a trade at 5:08 my time this morning, so I'm on the West Coast, so Pacific time. So for all you East Coasters, you know what time it is. It was 8:08 when I jumped into that trade. So typically I would be doing all my setting up all my levels and so forth, but SIGA was was my biggest winner today. Also was in RDBX, so red box. Definitely an exciting day. Had unbelievable results. Had a couple of moments when things got a little bit out of hand. I took one big loss today, but again, so many great opportunities that were presented itself today. Today's going to be more of a recap. I am going to integrate in some of the live part of my sessions. I just just didn't have the right setup this morning to get what I'm intentionally or what I would typically be doing. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for clicking that link. And if you're into day trading and want to know a little bit more about what I do and how I do it, then click that like button, click that subscribe button. I really would appreciate the help for the channel. So all right, let's see what happened. So I probably sat down probably around 4:55 a.m. Pacific time, and I was watching TXMD, SIGA. It was also, I traded IMMX on Friday, and so I was kind of looking at that. Anyway, I was starting to build my watch list when just a little bit right after I started really kind of sitting down and looking, but I started to see that the 20 cracked the 200. And so, that's something, that's an indicator that when I'm going to go short, it's one of the things that I look for, is to make sure that the 20 is below the 200. And then typically I try to get entries around the 20. And so my first trade of the day was outside of the norm. In fact, I didn't even get it reported at all. I didn't even start reporting. But my first trade was I got short just 700 shares at 14.44, and I covered at 14.33. So really kind of a quick $84 trade. And then it kind of started to rebound, and so it kind of comes up, and then it kicks back down. And so as it kind of came back up, I entered in right around 14. What was it? 14.13, which again was horrible. I mean, that was a bad entry. So I ended at 14.13. I added again at 14.20. I added again at 14.33. And I think my last add, this was my right here. Yeah, so right in here was my last add. And obviously it popped up, and so as you can kind of see, it's hard to see, and I apologize for that. I'm going to be able to fix that, but I'm 2,500 shares short on SIGA with an average position of 14.24. And so I'm sitting right now, really close to break even. And obviously, it kind of comes down, and you're going to see that, I'm getting ready to cover my first, make my first. Now I'm using hotkeys, so you're going to see the order, pop in, and so right there I did 625 shares. I was running a quarter, so I did a quarter of a position. It's probably another quarter of position. I'm sitting right now with 1,400 and I guess 7 shares, give or take. I've got another quarter of a position at 1388, and of course it popped up a little bit. But anyway, it was a fairly good trade, and so far I've got $320 unrealized and $355 realized. So, I'm feeling pretty good about myself. I am increasing my size, as I'm getting more comfortable and so forth. I'm used to having days, plus 150, minus 50, plus 350, minus 350, that's been the kind of the trading that that I've been working through. So, but anyway, I felt good, and so right now I'm sitting, like I said, at minus 1407. Now, what I'm getting ready to do, I'm going to push this forward. Getting ready to add. I'm going to go short, add up here at 1412 because I'm thinking that that it's weaker. I didn't get filled. Now I'm filled. Right around, about 2,000 shares short. And as you can kind of see, I added 500 more, so now I'm with an average position of 1428. As you can see, this is where the trade gets a little bit away from me. So right now I've got a realized profit of 358, but this trade does get away from me. We're at minus 500 unrealized. Yep. Whoa! See, look at that. Look at it. It just spiked. So now I'm sitting there at minus 1600, and I added the remaining. Basically averaged up, per se. And my stop at that time was $15. I was mapping it out. It was getting about a half hour before the open, and so right around here, right around 6 a.m. my time, almost 9 o'clock, about 30 minutes before the open, it really kind of starts to kind of work in my favor. Actually, while I'm in this trade, I'm in the process of setting up a game plan from one of my other services that I belong to. Really awesome people over at 1215 Day Trading, and in fact, if he puts out game plans every morning, right around 6 or 9 o'clock in the morning, and so if you're interested, I'll leave a link down in the description. So the market opens, and I'm really mad at myself. Obviously, I'm not, as you can see, I'm not in the trade. I'm sitting up about $699 realized. And, I really, I'm just going to be honest. I went and took a shower. I really would have liked to have been in there because I would have definitely sold short at VWAP. Because I really, anticipated, I would have put up probably a 1550 stop, but I really would have gotten in at about $15 there at VWAP. So right now I'm just kind of looking to say, all right, I'm chasing at this point, but at what point do I try to start scaling in? And that's essentially, what I'm sitting there thinking through the process is that, where's the bottom, where's the pullback? And so I'm sitting there contemplating and trying to figure out, because I figured that this thing had a lot of room. I expected it to get down to 11 at some point, but these things can reverse. This thing was a heavy hitter on Friday. I mean, it was a monster. I caught it at $9 and rode it up to 1050, and I only got maybe 25% of the move. So now I'm seeing this, seeing a little bit of green, and and really trying to contemplate, when can I start to safely pick it, knowing that I'm going to start accumulating a position. It's just so far below on both the 1 and the 5 minute. It's just pretty darn far below. So, all right. So 1369 is my first attempt. I'm starting with just 500 shares. As you can see, I've got 4,000. Um, I have 4,000 shares located. So I'm in for 500 right now. But now I'm just looking for where do I want to where do I want to keep going? Maybe just 500 shares. It was already at 200. I'm just trying to get in there. Now I'm at 1,000 shares short. 1,500 shares short. It's spiking up. Trying to accumulate a position. Now it's coming back up to my average. It really kind of pops. Trying to get more on top here. Average position. I'm now 2,500 shares short. And of course, let's rewatch that bad boy. Come back. Nice little flush. Took a little profit off the table. This was just one of those. I mean, the second trade was a bad trade. All right, I got lucky that I didn't get stopped out. And there was a few times here that I was chasing. I'm sitting there right now, like 600. Now I'm off the table, so now I'm sitting there at 2,000 for the day. One thing to also note is that this is my first time day trading with the Trade Zero platform. There's some things that I like about it. I mean, actually, my executions today I thought were really good. There were times when I got dip buys on the bid. That I was able to sell them the ass fairly consistently. I wasn't seeing a lot of, I wasn't seeing some of the challenges that I saw with my Bass Trader platform on CMET. And so, I am going to do some, we have some plans to do some reviews, but so now I'm sitting here looking at this thing thinking, all right, so when do I get back in? I mean, again, I originally thought this thing, had room to $11. That's always where I thought this thing would go. I knew it could be volatile. I could get up to 16 or 17 possibly before it got to 11. This thing can get really whippy, but I really, anticipated with the move that it's made already, just in the first 15 minutes of the market being open, that it had some real opportunity. All right, I'm in a position now. I've got 1,000 shares added to it, and now sitting at 2,000 shares short. And back up. Oh, nice little bit. Took it off the table. One of my biggest challenges as a day trader has been not taking, waiting for the bigger move. And then, of course, I wait for the bigger move, and, what do you know? It goes against me, and then I end up having to stop out. When there were times I saw some really good profits sitting there on the table. And this is really kind of momentum scalping, right? This 3,000 shares short with a 1238, and we're sitting there getting ready to be upside down. Yeah. So there was a couple call outs. Yeah, there was a couple call outs in the chat room. GVX to the flash. Going to 1,500, up to 1,100. Now up to 2,000. It's kind of coming back up on me. to 3,500. I did at one time, I think, go up all the way to 4,000 shares. But I didn't very often. Again, I was always trying to scale in, and so here's a scenario where and now I'm putting in place, as you can see with all the orders that I have here, I've got stops set in place, and this is where I do stop out. So this is where I take the big loss. I actually go fix breakfast for our family at this point. So we're back here at 1197, 1,000 shares, now 2,000 shares short. But taking some profit off the table. And that's my key thing is that I just feel I have a good read of what's going to happen. I see what's going to happen, but I just don't take enough profit off the table quick enough. And but obviously this is a really good day. And I'm definitely really excited about it. Notice, I'm sitting there watching this the wedge, right? That's I'm big on wedges. I'm big on support and resistance lines. So I've got a wedge, as you can see, I've got a wedge inside of a wedge, that I'm sitting here tracking, and so there's no way I'm going to stop out. Oh, taking a look at Blue 8 then. So I've got a wedge, top of a wedge here. I've got a top of a wedge here. There's just not a reason with how far I went today and how high. It just wasn't a reason to take a loss unless it got outside of both these wedges. So from a stop loss perspective, am I okay with going 1,000, 1,500 unrealized and lost? Yes, as long as it stays within the wedge, knowing that I've got some resistance up there to kind of help keep it come down. And again, if you look at the way this thing had been flushing, it leaves reason to believe that it's going to continue to do that. And so that's it might not be the most disciplined mechanism, but I think I built enough cushion in the day to be able to support, because I'm telling you, I think 80% of the time I stop out, it immediately goes the other direction for me. I mean, of course, I know that's what everyone feels, and but I'm sure everybody can relate. So, but yeah. All right, so now let's move to RDBX. So I'm sitting here looking at this. I see the level at 667. I'm sitting there thinking, this is a great 5-minute setup. If this thing could pull back some, I could get it across, about 655, 656 for first candle to make a new high on the 5-minute. I was sure that there was a lot of people looking at it. We were having really soft volume over the last 3 5-minute candles. So keep in mind that I'm using this platform new. So I've got my hotkeys set up, and I have to take 1,000 at a stroke of a button, 1,000 shares, and that's what I actually set it up. I've got 638. I'm hoping that it's going to drop down and hit 638. 1,500 shares. I'm setting it up so that if the order hits, as you kind of see here, I've got a stop market for my stop loss at 632. I'm not going to give it a whole lot of room, but go here. End up canceling that order because now I don't think it's going to come back down there. And so I'm making sure I'm getting ready to enter with a hotkey. We're going to do Shift F2 for 2,000 shares. I'm feeling it. Yep. I'm in now at 647 with 2,000 shares. That's my Control F2 hotkey. Now I'm going to take 5 or 6 cents here. I'm going to likely, I'm going to try to do a quarter of a position. It's not taking off as fast as I thought it was going to, so I'm going to scale out a little bit. I do see that there's some pretty good orders on the bid there. So I felt overall good that it was going to work, but again, I just have a tendency of sitting there just watching the opportunity for profits to go away. So I'm sitting there with an order of 1,000 shares at 655. I'm going to try to get it. Oh, drop down. Now I canceled that. I'm prepared to stop out with my Control Z key. Yeah, that's where I'm kind of sitting right now. I've got my left hand on the control and right above the Z. Thinking, all right, do I want to add a position? I'm sitting there with 2,000 shares. I think it's holding. So I'm gonna throw an order out there for 641. It bounces down there. Again, I was always thinking 632 was my stop. So now I'm looking at 644. Yep. So 644 for an additional 1,000 shares. Now I'm trying to sell at 646. I did. I took a little bit off the table. I'm going to take a little bit more off the table. 1125. There we go. Now I've got 2,000 shares left. I just think it's getting ready to pop. There we go. Taking a little bit more off the table at 660. Yeah, 11 and now I think I'm getting ready to jump back in. I want to see this thing dip down to 667. That was my goal. I think I'm going to get a little higher though. I think I'm going to end up being back in at 677. Came up, got up to almost 720. So I've got 1,000 shares right now at 677. I'm trying to buy at 678. Actually, I got it at 666. No, 670. No, 666. We've got 3,000 shares right now. And obviously, we've got this dip here. We've got a stop set at 660. So I don't use automatic stops often. I mean, sometimes I'll set up range orders, but typically, you know, I'm very active, and so I've got my hands on the hotkeys, and sometimes I'll buy the dips versus stopping out. So I've got 4,000 shares with RDBX. Trying to sell 693. Very good. Starting to scale out now. And I've got my stop now at 681, so I'm stopped out. And so took one more trade. As you can see, I'm 2,000 shares short on SIGA. This is right. I mean, we got 5 minutes until until we're done with the market end. And I'll be honest, I had a little issue, so I'm in the trade and I get a few out, but I actually have never made any trades aftermarket on Trade Zero, and so it's different. You have to use a different time and force. GTX is what's required when you're doing that. So I ended up pretty much breaking even. I get out a little bit of profit. Obviously I end up with about an additional $100. And so now we're in after hours. And I'm actually in a good shape after hours. And then that's when I'm realizing, it's a GTC. Again, I haven't really used that. And so I ended up finally getting out just really almost break even, but just with a little bit. Yep. That's where, right before, I mean, trust me, it went 11. It definitely popped up there. So, but anyway, overall, it was definitely a great day, and appreciate it. Again, I'll get better at presenting this. So, I usually kind of walk through what I'm looking for at the beginning of the day. But anyway, thanks for taking the time to be here and supporting the channel. And don't forget to click that like. And if you're interested in day trading, hit subscribe. I'm going to try to get quite a bit of content each week. So anyway, well, take care.